Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadare Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Shri Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Dhanyavad Pranam devotees. So this morning I'm trying to complete some questions and answers that I had not gotten to, and I'm going to do two of them today. One really main and one is a pretty short answer, which I've kind of dealt with before, but just to give some clarification, I'll just repeat a little bit of my perspective on that second question. But as the title suggests, the first question was that if a person has not realized their perfection yet, can't they worship all the forms of Krishna sort of equally? Because if they don't have established yet a particular form of a particular relationship, then can't they just see and worship and deal with all the forms of Krishna in the same way? Because they're all obviously expansions or parts of Krishna. So in that regard, when a person first comes to the path of bhakti, then there are kind of very generic understandings. One is Krishna is God, and that means God along with all of his expansions and parts and parcels, everything. And that we are the das, or the servants of God. So based on that generic understanding, any form of God, Narasimha Dev, Varaha, Ramachandra Bhagavan, Shri Krishna, right? Even Dwarkadish Krishna, or Vrajinanandan Krishna, those the ability to create properly spiritual understood distinctions may not be there. So the general idea, I'm the Das of Krishna, and that Bhagavan means Bhagavan along with all of his expansions, avatars, etc., is suitable understanding. As we go on practicing bhakti, then we become more in tune to the line of conceptions coming from our Guru Vargas and especially from Sriman Mahaprabhu. And then, following the process of bhakti itself, we go through the various stages, like coming from Ado Shraddha into Shraddha. This Shraddha is actually first Shraddha in Sadhu. That's what creates the platform of Sadhu Sangha, right? So investing faith in the Sadhu teaches the process of bhajan. And in teaching the process of bhajan, they also teach how to understand the nature of the rasavichar, means the considerations regarding the different aspects of Bhagavan and the different relationships with Bhagavan. So as they teach this rasavichar, and especially when a person in their unfoldment or maturation comes to the point where they are, by the mercy of Guru, given the Diksha mantras, at that time, Jiva Goswamis described the process of what happens. Divya Gyanam Shimanti Mantre, Bhagavat Sarup Gyanam Tenam, Bhagavat Sambandha Visesh Gyanamscha. So what Gurudev does at that time is he gives Divya Gyan. This Divya Gyan is mentioned in the verse I just quoted. Divya Gyanam Artha Shimanti Mantre, Bhagavat Sarup Gyanam Tenam, Bhagavat Sambandha Visesh Gyanamscha. So in the form of a mantra, the particular form of Bhagavan that is your object of worship and the particular mood of worship towards Bhagavan is given in a seed form in this mantra. So the Diksha mantras are the aspect of revelation in the form of a mantra that over the course of time of practice of Nam, other aspects of bhajan, and in sincere practice of chanting those mantras, gives confirmation and revelation to what is spoken by Gurudev at that time. You understand? So at the time of Diksha, that particular Ishtadev and a particular mood of worship or relationship with with Krishna is given in a seed form in the Diksha mantra. From that time, and having understood from the Siksha coming from Guru and Sadhu, the nature of Rasavichar, one should practice their bhakti with Sambandha Gyan. Sambandha Gyan means with the perspective that this is my worshipable objective and this is my desired mode of service. In the earlier stages, before coming to Ruchi or Sakti, that will remain a intersection of the faith in Guru and the potency of the practice you have and the kripa of Guru all blossoming together. So let me repeat that. At that time, basically because there has not been a concrete realization, it will operate still on the basis of faith. So faith in Guru, Guru's kripa, and the efficacy of the practice that we're doing will provide sort of activation of the revelatory power in that mantra. That's why Raghunath Das Goswami has said, Swamantra Sri Namni Vraja Danva Yuva Sarane Sada Danva Hitva Kururatim Apurvata Atitaram. In Manasiksha, he's described that one should regard Swamantra Sri Namni, one should regard the Diksha mantras and Sri Harinam given by Guru Dev, right? If they have desire, Vraja Nava Dvanva Yuva Sarane, to obtain the service of Radha and Krishna, then by all means, Sada Danva Hitva. Damba means pride. Give up any conceptions of pride. Means basing everything on your own understanding. And unflinchingly, with great affection, Rati, right? And here he uses two words, Apurvata Atitaram. A excessive, unprecedented Rati. It means like no feeling you've had for anything else in this world, right? Or in your experience. You should have an unprecedented Rati for the mantra and nam given by Sri Gurudev. Then the revelatory power of that mantra will start to unfold in your heart, just like a lotus begins to blossom under the proper conditions, right? So as the illumination of Siksha comes in the form of Hari Katha and so many questions and answers with Sri Gurudev, etc., unfolding in your heart will be that very mantra given at the time of Diksha. Now, if you really look closely at the practice, for instance, that was given to us by our Srila Prabhupada, the practice itself aligns completely with the conception of the mantra. So, for instance, though Srila Prabhupada has mentioned that in a manner of respect, punctuality, cleanliness, and other factors, we should worship on the altar all the deities of Radha and Krishna like Lakshmi Narayan. He was not saying because he could have very well established deities of Lakshmi Narayan, but he didn't, right? He established deities of Radha and Krishna, but to instill the necessity of practicing properly in terms of your archan, means your worship of the deity, it should be done with the mood of on reverence that's present in factors like punctuality, cleanliness, standards, etc. He didn't mean by mood. He did not mean by mood. He did not mean by mood. He meant with the standards. Now, how will the mood come? Well, if you look at the entire body of the practice, from the time you wake up in the morning and your very first dealing at the temple in the morning is the singing of the Guru Ashtakam. So you'll have to go through the meanings and the deep understandings of Guru Ashtakam, because that will be the first revelation of what is my mode of practice. What am I trying to achieve? So if you look at the Falstuti verse, the benedictory verse in the Guru Ashtakam, it's the 9th stanza, right? There's 8 stanzas normally, and there's a 9th stanza. Generally in our ISKCON temples, we didn't really sing it, though it was originally written in the songbook. When the songbook first came out, it was written there. That if one will sing this Guru Ashtakam, Srimad Guru Ashtakameta Ruchai Brahma Muhurte Prarati Brayatnat Yat Seva Vrindavan Natta Sakshat Sevai Labja Jan Swanteva. if you'll sing this Guru Astakam during the Brahma Muhurta hours, right, with meaning and understanding of the meanings, it says, then you will be guaranteed to obtain direct service in Vrindavan, right, to the Yugal Kishore, means Radha and Krishna. So here, the very first methodology employed in our practice daily is singing that Sri Guru is a representative in his relationship of the divine couple in the mode of Manjari Bhav. Because Nikunja Yuno Rati Keli Siddhai Yad Ali Bhir Yuktir Apekshaniyai Tatradi Daksha Rati Balavasha Vande Guru Shri Charananavindam. Now, a question will come, Mukunda, does that mean automatically, axiomatically, every single person in our line is in Manjari Bhav? No. But imbued in the pinnacle of understanding in terms of Rasavichar, the highest conception of the Rasavichar is Radha Krishna Yugal and service to the mood of Radhika. But every other rasa is also included there, much in the same way Chaitanya Charitamrita says that all of the elements like fire, water, air, ether are all included in earth. Right? There are 5 elements. All the 4 preceding elements are included in earth. So all the other rasas are present in Madhurya rasa. You understand? And the highest form of Madhurya rasa given in our line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Manjari Bhav. Unata Ujvala rasa swabhakti sriyam. So Radhadasya means the mood of service to Radhika. And in serving Radhika, serving Krishna. You understand? So in the practice itself, those sort of understandings and details are there. After we sing the Guru Ashtakam, normally in our mat also we sing a special song for Mangalarti. Mangala Shri Guru Gauda Mangala Murati. So another time I'll explain this because I want to speak kind of universally now, and I know that in ISKCON temples this is not sung, but still we can go on to other practices in that morning program which are indicative of the mood which Srila Prabhupada was instilling. So if you see the next thing, it will be the Tulsi Puja, right? And Tulsi Parikrama, right? Means circumambulating Tulsi. If you look at the prayer that's given for worshipping Tulsi Devi, right? Radha Krishna Seva Pavo E Abhilasi. What is my Abhilas? That I'll have the service of Radha and Krishna. Mora E Abhilas. Besides this desire, Mora E Abhilas Vilas Kunje Dhyovaj. That I will have the ability to do Vilas Kunja Seva. So who serves in the Kunjas? Right? So all indications are there in the practice itself of what is our aspirational goal. Right? Nivedena Dara Shakir Anugatta Koro. Please make me Anugatya to these Sakis. So Sakis here means Parama Presta Sakis like Lalita Visakha, Chitra Chambakalata, etc. Make me Anugatya to them. So this meaning Anugatya, this word Anugatya means to follow them. So who follows these Parama Presta Sakis? They are called Pran Sakis and Nitya Sakis or Manjaris. There are some nuances here also because there's different kinds of Nitya Saki. But in general, the Pran Sakis are the eternal associates in the mood like Rupa Manjari, Rati Manjari, Lavanga Manjari, Vilas Manjari, Gun Manjari, right? Rasa Manjari, etc. Right? Or Ramana Manjari, right? You understand? Then Nitya Sakis are those positions generally attained by those who were sadhakas and who became perfected in this mood of following the Pran Sakis, meaning Manjaris. They obtained a mood like that. That's why songs like Sri Rupa Manjari Pada, Shai Mora Shampada, Shai Mor Bhajana Pujana, that the whole purpose of my Bhajan Puja, everything I'm doing, is to obtain guidance under Sri Rupa Manjari. Similarly, Palyadasi Kori, Lalita Shundari, Amare Loila Kabe. Another bhajan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur singing, I'm only desiring that I will come under the guidance of Sri Lalita Devi. Means Sri Lalita, Radhika Sakhi, as Palyadasi. Means like a maidservant to Srimati Radhika. So in this way, if you look in our line, there's so many indications of these things. But here I'm pointing out that even in the Tulsi worship and the Tulsi Parikrama, these things are there. You understand? So once a person asked me, but then Mukunda, what about the singing of the Narasingha Pranam and the Shringa prayer? Right? Well, same thing, right? What about that? Because that doesn't seem to be in the mood of the worship of Braj, etc., etc. So there's always, until there is perfection in your Vastu Siddhi, means when you've obtained the actual Braj, any place where Krishna is performing his Prakat Lila, when you obtain your perfection. Before that, when you obtain your perfection in Bhav, you'll do your bhajan in two kinds of ways. Seva Sadika Rupena Siddha Rupena Chatrahi Tadbhava Lupsuna Karya Vraja Lok Anusarita. So you follow internally the mood of that person whose perfection you're aspiring to have and that you realize. Then you have your Sadakaru, means the current body. You'll continue, Shravanam Kirtanandani, Vairi Bhakti Sudantitu. You'll continue to perform Mangalarti, all the different angas of bhakti that you've been performing all of your existence in bhakti. Right? And then internally, in your Siddharup, you'll have realization, who am I, so forth. And internally in your dhyan, means your meditation, you'll do seva in that form. Right? But that's some ways off. So for now, we should concentrate that in my sadhak group, then I'm practicing in aspiration of that. You understand? So we sing the Narasingha prayer because as sadhakas and trying to serve the mission of Mahaprabhu, we pray that all obstacles will be removed, both in our personal lives and in the life of the mission of Mahaprabhu. So Srila Prabhupada said that just like on every Gaudiya Math temple, there would be the lions out front of the gate. This is to remove obstacles in our preaching. My Guru Padma told that as a devotee matures, especially towards the mood of Braj, he will actually pray to Giriraj Govardhan to remove any obstacles on his path. Because in Braj, Giriraj Govardhan is any obstacles that are there are removed by Govardhan. You understand? In general, in our Sankirtan movement, our overall preaching movement, we say, oh, Narsingha Day should remove any obstacles. And also, if a devotee is not yet so mature in bhajan, everything, he can say also in my personal life also, and there's no harm, that Narsingha Day should remove Vigna Vinasana, Sri Narsingha Bhagavan. That he should remove any Vigna, any obstacles in the way of my practice of bhakti. Understand? So this is why the Narsingha prayers are sung, right? But the overarching theme, right, of our daily practice involves singing of Guru Astakam, then Panchatattva Mahamantra, then Hare Krishna, right? And then understanding what is Hare Krishna, right? Hare Krishna, right, means Krishna and Radha when they are meeting. Hare Krishna, second one, Radha and Krishna together, but their separation is pending. Hare Hare, Radha and Krishna are in separation mood. But then, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, then Hare Hare, now in their separation, but meeting is pending, right? Because they have arrangement to meet. Then Hare Rama, right? In the first Hare Ram, when they meet again, the Ramate means pleasure, is doubled. You understand? So Hare Ram here means Ramayateti Rama, that Radha and Krishna having been separated and are meeting again, their pleasure has increased. So here it refers to Radha Raman. You understand? So Hare Ram, then Hare Ram again, they are meeting in the height of the ecstasy, but separation again is pending. Because meeting and separation are two sides of a coin that are mutually nourishing in love of God. Na vina vipralambena sambhog pushni ashtute. Sambhog or meeting can't be nourished unless there is separation. Right? Just like in English, there's a saying, separation makes the heart grow fonder. Right? So this mood is there. You understand? So even when we're singing the Hare Krishna mantra, these are the internal meanings of it. So if there's proper dhyan, means proper meditation throughout the morning and throughout the morning program, then all of these things are there in the heart of the practitioner while they're doing these things in the morning. I once had a devotee tell me, a pretty senior devotee actually, that's all relative, but a senior devotee say, well, actually the Guru Astakam prayer is generic. It's not particularly for your Guru. That's ridiculous. Right? I'm singing the bhajan by meditation on my Guru. That's the purpose. That I'm meditating on my Guru Dev. So the Guru Ashtakam is being sung in that manner. It's not just generic. Right? Because then there is no personal relationship with it. I'm just singing about gurus in general. Right? No. I'm meditating, singing in relation to my Guru Dev. How my Guru Dev has delivered me from the cycle of samsara. How my Guru Dev has placed me in the position of Gaura Lila. How my Guru Dev has taught me bhajan. How to worship Radha Krishna Yugal and Mahaprabhu. How my Guru Dev has allowed the anarthas to be removed and established me in Nishta. And now in Ruchi, Chaturvidashi Bhagavat Prasad. The 4 kinds of Bhagavat Prasad like Venu Madhuri, Rup Madhuri, Lila Madhuri, Prem Parikar Madhuri. How I'm able to now taste these things by the mercy of my Guru Dev. Then seeing how my Guru Dev is always absorbed. Shri Harikaya Madhubhyona Para, Madhurja Lila, Guna Rupanandam. He's engaged in Madhurja Lila, Guna Rupanandam. Pratikshana, at every minute. This pratikshana is the symptom of ashakti. You understand? So even all of the stages from Shraddha to Bhav are present in this Guru Astakam. Understand? Such a deep thing. So we will become completely absorbed and meditate like that each day. This is the meaning that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has put, oh, Srimad Guru Mastakam Eta Ruchai, Brahma Muhurte Prati Prayatnat. If you will arise and sing this during Brahma Muhurta with understanding, oh, certainly you will attain Braj. Because it will cause the flowering of the inner conceptions that you receive from your Guru Dev at the time of Diksha, right? And at the time of Harinam. Because when Guru Dev gives Harinam, he's giving the seva of Radha and Krishna, which is everything. The Diksha mantras help us to unfold the realization that Nam and Namni are one. That Krishna and Radha and their names are non-different. And what is our relationship with them? That's what the Diksha mantras do. But Harinam can do everything. But because we are so, so thickly conditioned, then Diksha mantras are necessary to help break the material Abhiman, to help establish the real Abhiman. The word Abhiman means self-conception. So to break the idea, I'm this body, this is my family, this is my place, this is my race, this is my gender, this is my this, that. To break that and establish the reality of our spiritual identity, Diksha mantras are indispensable. Jiva Goswami Pad has told. Right? In the whole Guru Vargas. Right? So, the answer then to the question would be that according to your maturation, then you'll start to see Krishna and Krishna's expansions differently. Right? So the first indication will be Ramadi Muteshu Kala Niyamena Tishtan Nanavataru Akaro Bhuvaneshu Kentu. Krishna Swayam Sambhavat Sam Paramotmanyo Govindamari Purusham Tamam Jami. Adi Guru Brahmaji in his Brahma Samhita, he spoke that Krishna Swayam Bhagavan and all the incarnations headed by Ram, Ramadi Murteshu Kalanyam, they're either parts or expansions of Krishna. But Krishna Swayam Bhagavan. And he has no cause beyond him. Very first verse of Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Radhe Govinda Sava Karana Karanam. There's no cause beyond Krishna. Same first verse of Bhagavatam, Abhigya Swarat. There's no causation beyond Krishna. He is the cause of all other causes, but there is no cause for Krishna. He is the last word in everything. And Krishna always means Radha, Krishna, Baladev Ji, the entire spiritual world, because those things are also eternal with Krishna. They're not things that come about by some causation. Right? So, here it is proven that, first of all, the first perspective will be that Krishna Swayam Bhagavan, and that all other incarnations and manifestations of Purusha, Avatar, etc. are parts or parts of a part of Sri Krishna Bhagavan. Then, as our maturation grows more, according to Rasa Vichar, we will see that Krishna's position is unique. In the Lagu Bhagavatamrita, one verse is written there. It's a commentary on a Srimad Bhagavatam verse, and it's written, Bhagavan Stavad Asadharana Swarup Aishwarya Madhuja Tattva Vise Swarup Paramananda. So here, the key word here is Asadharana. Even among all the different forms of Bhagavan, Krishna's Asadharana. Asadharana means not ordinary. Of course, no forms of Bhagavan are ordinary, but here the context of the word is that in relation to all the forms of Godhead, Krishna is unique. What is his uniqueness? Bhagavan Stavad Asadharana Aishwarya Madhurya Tattva Visej. That all of the Aishwarya, all of the 6 opulences of Bhagavan, wealth, knowledge, fame, beauty, strength, renunciation, all of those are dominated by sweetness. So they're all reconciled in the form of Sri Krishna. In the form of Narasimha Bhagavan, all 6 opulences are there. But the Madhurya Mayi mood is not present in Narasimha Dev. Madhurya Mayi means like Krishna's sweet pastimes in Vrindavan. And 4 aspects being exceedingly charming. His flute playing, Krishna's beauty of his form, his praying, the loving association with his devotees, and the extraordinary sweetness of his leelas. Iti drikshwalilabir ananda kunde shwagosham nimanjantam ayam payantam tadi geshitar bhaktarachita tvam tadi yeshita geshu bhaktarachita tvam punah prematas satavritti vande. He's saying again and again, I'm offering my obeisances to the Lord, whose pastimes, they've created a whole well or lake, right? A lake of ananda, unlimited, ananda, bliss. Swagosham nimanjantam. Swagosh means of the residents of Vrindavan. Nimanjantam has a unique meaning here. Nimanjantam is if you forcibly plunge somebody into, like you take I know when I was a kid, people used to take apples, they have it on a stick and they dip it in either a candy mixture or a caramel mixture, right? And then it becomes a candy apple or caramel apple or whatever. So it's an apple, but it's completely drenched in the sweetness of this candy or this caramel, right? So same thing. Nimanjanta means that the residents of Vrindavan are, by the nature of their praying, completely immersed, almost forcibly, in ananda, in bliss. So he's saying, Tadi Geshita Geshur. So Tadi Esha here means, or Tadi Isha means, those who are devotees of Bhagavan. Tadiya means those things who are connected to Bhagavan. So those who are devoted to Bhagavan, Isha, by his opulence of being God. Geshu, who have this kind of knowledge. I'm telling you, this is Satyavrata Muni's declaration here. I'm telling you, Bhaktar Chita Tvam, he only fully comes under the control of those devotees that I've described in the first 2 lines, who are imbued with deep, sweet, loving relationship with him. So he's declaring the supremacy of the mood of Braj over Vaikuntha Bhav, etc., etc. So this is our line. You understand? This is our line. So until one has maturation, then he may see, all forms of Bhagavan are the same. As they mature, then various levels of distinguishing the forms of Bhagavan will come about. Finally, in the depth of sort of blossoming of deep level of maturity, will come the understanding, according to Rasavichar, of the unique sweet position of Sri Krishna in Vrindavan, how he's worshipped by Brijabasis. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pat spoke this in one verse, Arajo Bhagavan Vrajisha Tanais Tad Dhamma Vrindavana Ramyas Kaschit Upasana Vrajavadu Vargena Yakalpita. Right? He says that the opinion, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Madam, the opinion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam, and the spotless proof of these facts are in Srimad Bhagavatam. What facts? That the worship of Sri Krishna as it is done in Vrindavan, especially by Ramyas Kaschit Upasana, means the Braj Ramanis, means the gopis. This is the highest conception of worship of the Lord. And this is the opinion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Tatra Adara Na Paraha. So para means others. So he's saying here, what other opinions may exist there, I'm not giving adara. Adara means more respect to that than I would give to the opinion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You understand? So similarly in our line, we follow this mood. That what Mahaprabhu has revealed, the beauty and the glory of Braj Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti, right? And this, I have other sessions speaking about Raganuga Bhakti, because we have to be careful how to understand and what is the quality and qualification for practicing Raganuga Bhakti. Those things should be understood as well. But this is the line that has come down from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this is our mode of worship. So as we mature in that understanding, then we will see, oh, my focus is on the worship of Shri Shri Radha Krishna Yugal, especially for the most part. Those who are following this line and following Shri Rupa Manjari, etc., have the desire, oh, I want to obtain the position of the Palya Dasi of Radhika. Understand? But also in this line, there are some who have attraction to Sakya Bhav. So mostly though you'll find attraction in Vatsalya Bhav in other Sampradayas. Understand? But particularly Sakya Bhav and Madhurya Rasa, especially Manjari Bhav in this line is prominent. Okay. So that's the answer to that question. Now I don't even feel like dealing with the other question, but I will deal with it shortly because I said I would. The other question comes about because somebody wrote me and asked me about the whole thing of devotees becoming politically right or left. So I wrote the devotee back and I explained to him that any devotee who is very serious about the practice of bhakti only considers right and wrong, not right and left. So right and wrong will be viewed according to what is anukul or pratikul for bhakti. That's simple. So anukul means what's favorable for bhakti. Pratikul means what's unfavorable for bhakti. That's how we view everything in the world. Because that's our life's mission. Our life's mission is to obtain pure love of God. Anya abhilas. We don't have any other desire than that. You understand? Everything we're doing vyavyaharically means, secularly, means in the external world, is only to support that fact. So you're going to work, you're going to school, you have a marriage, you're not married, whatever the case may be. Everything you're utilizing to coalesce it around favorability to practicing bhakti. So whatever these social political dynamics are, and in Kali Yuga, we know what social political dynamics are going to be because it's written in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Malacha Rajana Rupina, for the most part, rulership in the age of Kali are really people imitating the true position of leadership. That's spoken in Bhagavatam. So we don't have great expectations that we'll find some person like the way Lord Ramachandra ruled Ayodhya or something, right? And also in the nature of Kali Yuga, all kinds of other things are there. Cheating, lying, stealing, anger, manda sumanda matiyo, manda bhagya badrita. People are unlucky, unfortunate, always quarrelsome, short-lived, right? So we want to extract from anything in the environment what is favorable for bhakti and reject what is unfavorable. Those are the first two principles of doing saranagati. Anukul yasha sankalpa, pratikul yasha vivajanam. So that becomes our perspective. Right? Because even most devotees, they'll speak of left and right politics, but they have no idea of what the actual backdrop to either one of those things are. Everything is an agenda. It's not simply left and right politics. In fact, the general presentation by politicians, politics, and the media is not at all the actual backdrop of what's going on. And if you think that those who are in positions of extreme influence and power in the world feel that you're on an equal footing to sit down and discuss whatever the backdrop agendas are, then you're in an additional illusion besides being in Maya. You're an additional illusion within Maya. You understand? So first of all, unless most devotees are really in a position to really go down into a deep rabbit hole of understanding the backdrop of these things, right? Better to leave it alone, right? And take what is favorable for bhakti and what is not favorable for bhakti should be put aside. It's that simple. So there is no left and right and so forth and so on. Understand? And in fact, that those things come up in the Vaishnav Mandal or in the community of Vaishnavas is indicative of the poorest nature. The fact that the Vaishnav Mandal has now become weakened in our insulation from these kind of things, and now all kind of divisive elements can come in, right? If the metric was what is favorable to bhakti, then you could immediately look at something and say, that's not favorable to bhakti. right? And we wouldn't have divergent opinions on all that kind of stuff. But the reason all these divergent opinions and everything are coming up is because really the metric is not being looked at as what is bhakti, but there's attachment to an ideal. Oh, are you a left ideal, or you're a right ideal, or this or that? So that's my short and simple and hopefully undisturbing but sincere commentary on that whole left-right political ideal, right? More attention should be given to what I spoke earlier, how to realize the nature of growing in bhakti in such a way as to realize who is our Ishtadev, what is our relationship with that Ishtadev, and understand our unfoldment in bhakti. These things will become very favorable. Haribol Sadhana Siddha Prabhu and Haribol Melvin Prabhu. I don't know if we've met, Bhakta Melvin, or if you're initiated, then also I'm of my basically your initiated name. I don't know what other devotees are on at this point. All right, my Dandavad Pranam. I cannot see all. I look like was that wrong, Prabhu? I could not see clearly. All right, anyway, my Dandavats to all devotees. Of course, as always, Vancha Kalpaturuvishya, Kripa Shindavevacha, Patitanam Pavaneva, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Oh, Ramnath, there you are. I see now. Hari Bol Muji. Hopefully everything is going well there in the UK. And hopefully you're not freezing over there. All right, Hari Bol. Jai Radhe Radhe.